Welcome to First Wing, a Fourth Wing podcast.
I'm Brianna, and this is the start of my Fourth Wing journey.
And I'm Kendra, an experienced dragon rider here to help this first year. Just a quick note, this book contains explicit content including swearing, sex, violence, and death, and so will this podcast. And we do get another very explicit sex scene in these two chapters, which,
I think less plot relevant, though, so we might go over it less.
Oh, 100%.
The first one was pretty plot heavy in some ways.
There are things that my blushing ears will not be able to repeat.
So today we're covering chapters 31 and 32. Last episode ended after her and Xaden slept together for the first time. Then she went to go do some training with Professor Carr on the mountain, and that's it. It just ended there.
Yeah. Okay, so we start out chapter 31 with this blurb on the top that says July 1st, the anniversary of the Battle of Aricia, is hereby proclaimed Reunification Day and will be celebrated throughout Navarre on this date every year to honor the lives lost during the war to save our kingdom from separatists and those saved by the Treaty of Aricia. Aricia. It might just be Aricia, not Aricia. Anyways, this is a royal proclamation.
So my first thought was that this cannot be an easy day for the marked kids, which is something that even she doesn't really think about for longer than I feel like she should, having them in her lives so much.
Yeah.
But that was my first thought. I was like, oh, this seems like a bad day for them.
And
they're
we
like,
see
yay, all of our parents died.
Oh, I know. And we have to celebrate this now.
And we're forced to celebrate this.
Although people who lost loved ones on the other side is probably a hard day too, like
also,
her.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this, but I didn't realize that I knew her brother died.
Yeah.
I knew her brother was killed by Xaden's dad. I didn't know that it happened on the day that the war ended. I knew that he was important for ending the war, but I didn't realize it was really all in one day. He died, the war ended, and all the parents died? That's a busy 24 hours.
Oh, are you saying you think that all happened in one day, or it just happened with this battle and this is when the battle ended?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of trying to say. I'm like, if it all happened in one day, that's a crazy day. Like, Brennan died, the war ended, and they rounded up all the parents and killed them all in one day? Or is this just the day that celebrates that whole situation that happened?
I'm going to guess it's the day that celebrated the whole situation that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the battle was longer than a day.
Well, it says July 1st is the anniversary of the battle.
Yeah.
I don't think he must have died. At least if Brennan died on the day of that battle, he must have died on that day, July 1st.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting because it definitely seems like Xaden is mourning his dad's death on this day.
Yeah.
So
it really seems like it's implying that it all happened on one day.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
It's a really busy day. The battle must have been like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. And then rounding up all the people, happened before lunch break, murdering all the people, mark all the children.
I'm glad you gave them a lunch break. You're so considerate.
And then we're done for the day.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, good. So we start out this chapter with Xaden knocking on the door and coming in. I think this is literally that night of the same day. So we haven't actually moved much time. Like, so she woke up in the morning, she had violets on her desk, she went to go train with Carr.
Yeah, and
it's that night.
Yes, and she's like cleaning up here.
Yep. I like how he comes in and he's like, oh wow, we did all that damage. Basically, he's like, it looks a lot different in the light of day. And I think that's funny.
Yeah.
He also mentions here that she set trees on fires last night, and 2 water wielders had to go out and put out the fire. But like, does everybody think she's having sex, or they just think she's lost her control?
How would they know? Carr didn't know, and Carr's like the expert on this.
Yeah, I don't think they're walking around thinking.
Yeah, but I think
as they get going,
pattern starts arising.
Every time Xaden walks into your room, suddenly trees catch on fire. Yeah, they're gonna figure it out that way.
It's gonna get figured out, but I don't know if it's been figured out yet.
Also, we don't know if they even like put 2 and 2 together when the lightning hit the trees outside. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right. It's just like we woke up and now trees are on fire. But, I mean, you see lightning. Like, everyone with a window probably saw lightning, like, not like they saw, but like the flash.
Yeah.
Must have been very
no,
bright.
I'm just wondering, like,
and the thunder
are they going to
happens
always
too.
think every single lightning strike is violet now? Or are they going to maybe think it's just natural lightning sometimes? I don't know. Okay, sorry.
I guess it depends if it's raining. Like, is there a storm, or is it just like a normal night and then
just
boom?
and then they're like, violet.
They're
Dang
like,
it.
whoa.
Okay.
Well, this is like where she's trying to kind of like suss out where he went and why he left. Because she's like, you took off early.
Oh.
And then he's like, oh yeah, it was just leadership.
Sure.
Stuff. But then she thinks like, oh, how early he must have gotten up to find the violets and then go to the meeting.
So she's thinking the same thing we were thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
How early did he get up?
Yeah. And
That's
then
funny.
then she's like, oh, so it wasn't because I was snoring or anything. Which is funny.
Yeah. There's like this moment where I guess she kind of like thinks about how he has his defensives up and stuff, and she asks him to tell her something real. This is the same thing she asked before, right?
Yeah.
And then he asks what, which I wish he would originate something real instead of what she asks, but that's fine. So she decides to ask about the time. Like, she just like comes up with, okay, what about where you were the night I found you in that courtyard? We had talked about this. They had come back. I think it was
like
Bodhi and
they
Garrett,
see 3 dragons
maybe.
fly away, and then the 3 of them come down the hall, and this is when he says the right way isn't the only way.
Oh, that's right. That was that scene.
Yeah.
So she promises not to tell anybody, and he answers. He gives her an answer. He says, Athabine, you can't know why or ask anything else, but that's where we were.
Yeah, so that's an outpost that's like on the border of Tyrrendor and Poromil. But because I can't, I'm like, it's not quite on the border. It's definitely in Tyrrendor, but it is like on the cliffs. It's like on the cliffs of Tyrrendor.
We're looking at our map right now, everybody. Which you can't see, but you can open your own map. Where is it? It's down by Poromil.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so it's very interesting. It's not too far from Aricia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like on the cliffs. Like, it's like on the cliff. I mean, that's where the star is,
I know.
least.
That's kind of weird. I don't really know how much is on the cliff. I think that's a really weird depiction.
Anyways.
But yeah, it seems like, and then the next town closest, the one that's like actually on the line is Ressen.
Yeah. So they went to someplace in Tyrrendor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to like just think of anything, but it's like, well, it just feeds into the same things I already think. There's nothing like new about that.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
But it's weird. He's being very weird about it for sure. You can't
Why is he being weird about it?
You can't know why or ask anything else.
Well, they're not
but
supposed to talk about.
Were.
Yeah, that's true. But they're also not. They don't talk about third year stuff.
I know.
It does seem a little weird. It's so funny. I didn't think that when I read it.
But I know that's what she's thinking. But she says that that's not what she was expecting. I don't know.
I wonder what she was expecting.
I don't know.
We're out drinking in the town.
Or that they were doing something they weren't supposed to be. But when they were coming back, remember they had that conversation? They were having that conversation that was like, we're doing everything we can.
Yeah, and she heard that. But did she take note of it, or did we take note of it?
Well, we took note of it. So I wonder if... Were they really just talking about we're doing everything we can to protect Navarre? That's all they're talking about? If that's the case, they're so boring. I'm sorry. If there's not a mass conspiracy going on, I'm going to be bored. If they're like, oh no, we serve our country, and that's 3 books.
Yeah. This is all about serving our country and being very loyal, Brianna.
No! The country sucks. Well, the people in charge of it suck. We have to, I'm like, I expect us to get into this already, and we've not. And I'm annoyed.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Just like, it's going to take a violent death.
I mean, these 2 chapters end on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Just wait. When we're done recording, you get to go and read the next 2 chapters.
Yeah.
So he told her about that, and then she's like picking up books, and she picks up that one book that's, I think, the Fables book, right? And she notices that the back of the binding has broken because, it's
very old.
She even mentions it's an antique tome and that they knocked it off the desk last night. So they broke it. But good job, because hiding in the bindings is a letter from her dad.
Yes.
And he basically, he says so much in this. There's so much in this. But so he basically tells her, remember that folklore is passed from one generation to the next to teach us about our past. Mm-hmm. And that if we lose it, we lose the links to our past. And then he says it only takes one desperate generation to change history, even erase it. Which, by the way, has become like a line that is used a lot by the fandom. Also to even, talk about today's stuff and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And then he says she'll make the right choice. What choice? You know, there's such a thing here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this does kind of give a little bit more mass conspiracy vibes.
Yeah, what do you get from it?
Okay, well, first of all, about the erasing history thing, I was like, okay, so did this happen? Like, did somebody erase history or change history? Or is he just warning that that could happen?
Okay.
So, like, that line definitely caught my attention. And also, but, like, the fact that this book is nowhere else, like, no one, like, it was hard to find and stuff like that, I was like, so was this the past that they were erasing? That all of this stuff happened? But it seems like people know, because she talked about it with Rhiannon, and Rhiannon knows those types of stories, too.
But she said there were stories just told to her.
But they're just stories.
Yeah, they were just told as nighttime or children's stories, yeah.
Yeah, and later in this chapter, she kind of says something to Xaden about it, and Xaden says, like, oh, yeah, like, my dad said if I didn't eat my vegetables, that the wyverns were going to come get me, or whatever.
Wyverns.
So, yes, it is told as, like, those stories. But it is still kept around.
But it's not written down anymore. We know that. We figured that much out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, is this the history that's being erased? And also, so she talks about how Brennan's death made him become a little cryptic. And I was like, so did Brennan's death, like, teach him something important? Like, was there something specifically important about his death, the way he died, or just something that brought something else to light? I mean, the answer is yes, probably, based on everything. But what? Like, what is it? Is it, like, did he change his mind, like, right before he died? Did he suddenly start fighting for the other side? And then the person who would, like, quote unquote, died, tried to save him, killed him? Or something? That'd be crazy. I don't know. I feel like you couldn't hide that as well, because there's people that survived that battle. But what happened around his death that, like, because I don't think it's just like, oh, he died and then that made the dad sad. Like, no, something specific happened.
What indeed.
And yeah, this whole, the right choice when the time comes. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the time's gonna come, but how would he know that the time is coming?
Yeah. And
has he hidden more clues? Like,
the interesting thing here is he's thinking the choice is going to come while she's in the scribe quadrant, because he's literally talking about.
Oh my god! Does she have to go back to that place where he hid those things? Where, like, he was doing research?
Where he hid the things?
Yeah. Well, she didn't say where it was.
You mean the place where he said, where the aide said something about his research? Yes. And she said, oh, I couldn't tell you where it is, but she knows where it is? Yeah.
Yes. But it was research about, like, Feathertails. That's why they were wondering about it.
Right.
But I'm sure there's a lot of other things there, too, so that's probably why he thought she would figure it out in the scribe quadrant. So she needs to go back there. It's actually crazy that she hasn't already done that, knowing that there's a whole pile of research about Feathertails and she has a Feathertail.
I never actually, honestly, really
And now she's not allowed to go in the tomes, in the library, because her lightning powers.
Yeah. Or she wasn't allowed anyways. They didn't let any writers past a certain point. No, you had to be a scribe or training to be a scribe to go in there.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point.
You had to go to remember you go and you ask for the books, and then they went and got the books, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. True. No, but it's interesting because I actually never really noticed this, but he is talking about, like, he is so sure she's going to be in the scribe quadrant, so he's talking about making this choice as a scribe, so it's just an interesting thing. I mean, you will eventually figure out what the heck's going on, but...
Yeah. I love how I just was, like, that whole rant about how, like, there better be more to the story than I didn't forget, but then I was like, oh, yeah.
Half a page in, you're like, yeah, obviously there's more to the story.
Oh, yeah, here's the clue that there's still more coming.
What do you think, Brianna? Come on.
I know, but it's just taking so long.
Okay.
And I wanted Xaden to already be, like, a part of this other thing, but then, like, more and more it's just seeming like he's just not. But he better be.
I just don't know what to tell you, except for keep reading.
Yeah, I mean, he is really good at what he does, so it's probably supposed to come across like he's not doing anything else.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, she's kind of she kind of goes up through this stories, and she sort of mentions a few things I just thought would be interesting to bring up, like the fact that there was a great war among three brothers, which is so funny. Whenever I hear that, I constantly think of the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
The three brothers who fought to control the magic, right? And then stories about the first writers who bonded with dragons and how those bonds could turn on the writer, which I don't know if they're just talking about because, You can burn out, because you can burn out and
Yeah.
die, but whatever. Could turn on the writer if they tried to consume too much power.
Yeah, that sounds like
Makes
burning
sense.
out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about like a great evil to spread across the land, dark magic, turning creatures into venom, and then winged creatures called wyvern, and then talking about like scorching the land of magics, like sucking up all the magic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then, and then also talking about dangers of wielding power from the ground instead of the skies.
I found that an interesting phrase.
Yeah, a lot of very interesting things about this book that's just said right there. And again, we know they're fables.
Yes.
But we also know that
he's saying
fables are something about past, so you're just like, what exactly is the truth from here and not, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And she even says one of the purposes of the fables is to teach children about the dangers of too much power. Okay. And you know that this was like children bedtime stories and like teach you, you know, whatever. So I don't know. It's so funny when children bedtime stories are about the evil things are going to come get you, and then they're like, "Good night, children." It's like, okay.
Yeah, that seemed like a weird choice.
Anyways, I feel like I've come across that before in other books where they're like, yes, they used to tell us stories about the blah blah that would eat us if we didn't wash our socks or something. And I'm just like, wow.
As a bedtime story?
We don't tell our kids these things anymore. Are we not raising our kids right? Are we supposed to scare them to death before they go to bed every night?
Don't think so.
Make them tough kids?
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyways, so Xaden asks her, what do you think he's trying to tell you? And she's like, I don't know. It's all about how much too much power corrupts. Maybe he felt someone in leadership was corrupt, you know? And then she jokes and says, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if General Melgren ripped off a mask one day and revealed he was a terrifying venom. That man has always given me the creeps.
Yeah.
Xaden says, let's hope not. And then he also brings up that his dad also talked about venom, that they were biding their time in the Barrens, which we have in the map, right?
Yes.
It's at that northern spot, right?
Yeah, it's above Poromil.
Yeah. And that one day...
Wait, no, not above. It's past it.
Past it, because it's all the way to the east.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one day they would come and get you if you didn't eat the vegetables. So it's like that, you know, like just another one of those let's scare the children stories. And also about there'd be no magic left in the kingdom if we weren't careful.
Yeah, I do think that the magic... I feel like that there used to be more magic, like, in the Barrens and in Poromil as well. It used to be everywhere, not just this weird thing that's been controlled by the bonds and the dragons and stuff. And I wonder if that's why Poromil's, like, so mad. Because, I don't know, that their magic got taken, basically.
Interesting, yeah. Okay, so that's the end of their little philosophy talk, and then she's like, okay, let's start cleaning or whatever, and he's like, I have a better idea for our time. She thinks about how he said, don't fall for me, and then she's like, well, you told me not to fall for you, and she's like, listen, if we hook up again, I'm gonna fall for you, basically.
Yeah, and then he says, you won't. If you're so sure, then why are you worried about it?
Well, he doesn't just say you won't. He says you won't with a little bit of panic in his eyes. So he's scared about it. So he's almost saying that, thinking if he says it strongly and passionately enough, she'll agree or something.
Yeah, but then just listen to her. She's saying maybe we shouldn't. But he's like, no, it's fine. Okay.
Well, he's interested in, round 2 here.
Yeah.
But she's like, we'd have all the time in the world to figure out, who we are or whatever, if you'd stop acting like such an emotional chicken shit and just admit that you're going to fall for me too if we keep this up. And then she thinks to herself, there's no way he would have designed that saddle. Spent all that time training me to fight and fly if he didn't feel something.
Right. I'm like, it took you... Now, okay.
It's hard to say this, huh? Like,
this.
What the heck?
This paragraph is what we've been saying for 30 chapters.
For 392 pages.
Is like a constant list. Like, he did this, he did this, he did this. And you're always like, this man hates me. This man wants to kill me. And now you're like, look at all these things he did. He obviously has feelings for me.
Obviously,
really?
It took
is it
sex
obvious?
For her to figure this out.
Is it obvious? Violet?
I think Rhiannon was correct. I think she was definitely, all that sexual tension was just building up and she just needed an outlet.
Yeah, now she can
suddenly
think
she can think. Yep.
She can now.
I don't know what happened, but suddenly she has turned 180 degrees, and this whole 2 chapters is all about her being like, "Oh, I know Xaden loves me because of all the things he's done for me."
Yeah,
and we're like, "Yeah, all those things that
that's been happening for a while."
Trying to point out to you,
and now, she's like so annoyed at him. She's like, "God, Xaden, it's so obvious," and we're like, what do you mean? Like, how, you're so hypocritical right here.
I know.
It is so obvious, and it took you so long. Give him, like, any grace. Like, come on.
I just love the fact that all he needed to do for her to trust him was have sex with her.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he made her a saddle.
Yeah.
He taught her how to fight. He helped her with the flights.
Yeah.
No.
She's
He has
like,
sex
no,
with her, and suddenly...
he doesn't care about me.
That does it.
She's being so funny here. I'm like,
It is funny.
Oh my god!
But it is nice to actually, for once, be in her mind and have her
and
be like,
agree with her.
Yeah, have her be like, I got this. She's got the confidence going on now.
Finally,
My Lord.
But she thinks this line. He cares. He's just as wrapped up in this as I am, even if he's shitty at showing it. I'm like, do you know who else is shitty at showing this? You! Until right now, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hypocritical is the correct thing
Yeah.
that she's being here. Yeah. Well, he's like,
okay.
I have no intention of falling for you. I like the fact that she is just like, yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I like that she's
whatever
not
you
like,
say.
oh, darn, this is sad.
Yeah.
So she does say, ouch, though. Well, and she's like, well, it's apparent that you're not ready to admit where this is going. Look at her confidence. Now she's being the Violet we all want.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's just like, okay, so the next time I see you, I'll just act as cool as you are right now and pretend that I'm not remembering what it feels like. Okay, so I'm going to stop reading here because they get really descriptive, but it's so funny. She's like, I'm going to pretend I don't remember this and give something about their sexual time. And then he's like, well, I'll just pretend I'm not remembering the feel of your blah, and then gives his whole thing. And they're all just like staring at each other. And, I mean, it just goes on. And
yeah.
And she's so funny. She says, shit, he's better at this game than I am. But despite all that, see, this is where I would just be like, screw it and jump him.
Yeah, she's really close.
She doesn't, though.
To thinking that. She's like, I can
back.
have him, right?
Yeah, she holds back. She says, I know it scares you that you want me this badly. And she says, you don't get to dictate how I feel. You might give the orders out there, but not in here. Inside these four walls. She doesn't say this, but it's like, inside these four walls, this is different, right?
Yeah.
And she can say, you don't get to tell me that we can fuck, but I can't fall for you. And all that kind of stuff. So she's just basically saying, you can't say that. And then she's like, what is she basically? She's basically saying, we're not doing this until I'm okay with it. Basically, what she's saying?
Yeah, she's saying, like, since you won't admit that this is going to be something more, then I don't want to do this until I'm willing to risk the fact that this is going to hurt, basically. Right. So either you tell me that you also want more out of this, or I wait until I don't care.
Right, when I'm ready to just give it my all without your, giving it back.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then he's like, sure, I guess that's best. I'm going to be graduating soon. Don't know where we are. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you only have to see each other every 3 days forever.
Yeah,
they're acting like him leaving is going to be such a problem. And I'm like, I mean, it's going to be a problem, but not because you guys can't see each other.
Yeah, you can totally have a relationship with
that.
Yeah. She's thinking that, like, as much as he's avoiding this, they're going to end up in this place, time and time again, until he's willing to recognize what is going on between them. And then she thinks, because if there's one thing I know for certain, it's that I'm going to fall for this man, if I haven't already. And he's halfway there, too, whether he realizes it or not.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, she seems to be getting better at, like, just this whole thing that we were like, she's so bad at it, which is, like, reading any emotional signals and like thinking about her own emotions. So I was like, okay, she knows what's happening. We know what's happening.
Yeah, we and Violet are on the same page finally in regards to Xaden.
Yes. And Xaden's, he's gonna get there. It's
well,
fine.
He gets there in these. Well, does he get there in these two pairs?
Yes.
He basically gets there. Yeah.
Yes.
She gets him to finally admit it.
Yes.
Okay, good. So after that scene, obviously he leaves, and I believe this is mentioned later. This is like a month later or something. So some time has passed now. We're getting really close to graduation day.
Yeah.
And Sawyer says, did you hear that King Tari is celebrating reunification day here?
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, we finally get to meet him. Because he's just been like a name mentioned 3 times this whole book. But now we get to meet the king, which I was excited for. And then when we meet him, it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, no, he's not a very exciting guy.
No.
So yeah, she mentions they're eating together and they're, the whole squad's together, and she mentions here in her head that after a month she still can't aim her lightning for shit. Yeah. So we know a month has now gone by. We get some great little conversation between Xaden and her here. She catches his eye, right? So I'm wondering if they've been doing this for the whole month because they haven't had sex since then.
Yeah.
So for a month now, they're now sitting on more sexual tension. And she is like just looking at him, and he like speaks in her mind and says, "Don't look at me like that." So he's up at the leader table where they eat.
Yes.
And then she's like what? And he says, like, you're thinking about the sparring gym last night. So obviously they're still sparring, and can you imagine how that's keeping them going?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she thinks, well, now that you mention it, and kind of thinks about how, you know, they were pinned together because they're sparring, and how close they both were to just... Wait, are there people in the sparring room? Because they just said that they're, like, about to rip each other's clothes off right here.
Yeah, well, they seem to not care about that.
Yeah, Jesus. Anyways, while they're having this back and forth conversation, we also have a conversation happening where Rhiannon's like, yeah, of course, King Tari's coming. That's why we got all these black dress uniforms.
Yep.
But, so that conversation's happening on the side, so we know that King Tari's coming. I'm not going to get into that, because that's not the exciting conversation.
Nope.
The conversation that's exciting is her and Xaden. Because then Xaden says, seriously, I can't think when you look at me like that, which I just love the fact that he admitted to that.
I know.
And then she says, you're the one with the ridiculous rule about not falling for each other. And then he says, you're still looking. And she's like, you make it hard to look away. And while she's thinking about him, I'm sure all that longing is being put across.
Yeah, because he says, like, I'm over here keeping my hands and my memories to myself. Right. So she must be projecting some of her thoughts about how much she misses him.
Yes. Yeah, and he's like, you're fucking me with your eyes. That's not playing fair. And then she drops her fork, and everybody at the table stares at her.
Yeah, and then Liam, like, understands what's going on.
He, like, Xaden looks at her and kind of smirks, you know?
Yeah.
She says that he helped Garrick and Xaden move in the new armoire, so he got to get a little glimpse of their
a little bit
life.
What's going on.
And then he kind of laughs and says, told you to stop staring, and I love this. So she basically just says, well, if you admit there's something between us, you know, basically she kind of gives him the image of, like, going down on him.
Yeah.
And he
Xaden chokes.
And then everyone in the dining room looks at Xaden when he chokes. Garrick pounds him on the back. And then she grins, which gets her 6 looks of confusion from her table and then 1 set of rolled eyes from Liam. And then he responds with, you're gonna be the death of me.
Yeah, well, he did choke him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he mentions that again in this chapter, which is, yeah. Okay, so that scene, probably gives us an idea of how their conversations have been going for the last month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mentioned there's only 10 days away from graduation.
I know, which is like...
It's coming up really fast.
Yeah, but I'm, like, looking at the book, and I'm like, 10 days?
Yeah.
Seems like a lot more pages than 10 days. 10 days happens in, like, 1 chapter, or if not more than
Sometimes,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so... I mean, I know that it doesn't have to end, like, oh, graduation day, the book ends. Like, I know that. But
yeah.
Still, I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have left?
I'm so excited about the rest of this book. So excited.
I'm not, because I'm guessing it gets really intense, and I'm going to have to continue reading 2 chapters at a time, which has been fine for the last few chapters, because it's been, like, fine. Like,
yeah.
It's been nothing, like, too crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I wonder at what points you're going to be left hanging.
I don't know, but I'm scared.
It's
I'm
great.
so
I love it. Okay. I love your agony and your pain. It says here, she feels a familiar prickle along her scalp, and I know Xaden has filed into the battle brief room with the rest of the remaining cadets in leadership. So she's obviously in battle brief right now, and he's coming in behind her.
About her scalp prickling, and the fact that it's like this familiar feeling of my scalp prickling or whatever, I'm just like, does he send shadows at her every time he comes into the room? Why can she, like, physically feel him?
You think the little shadow fingers that prickle
just, like,
her
they just, like,
scalp?
tickle her scalp every time. And she's like, it's like the same exact feeling that she feels every time that he's just, like, in the same room as her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need to turn around to be able to tell.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
maybe
feel
it's just the bond thing, but that happened before she was even bonded with the dragon. This would happen. She'd be like, I could feel eyes staring at me, and I didn't need to turn around to know it was Xaden.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
It's crazy. What's he doing? He's just, like, poking her. Just poking her with his shadows.
Maybe his shadows go where his attention goes, and he always goes straight to her.
It's just so funny, but also, like,
I don't know.
ridiculous. And, like, it's just...
Or if I did, I wouldn't say anything, but either way. They're going right into battle brief, right? So they're talking about, you know, whatever battle, whatever, you know, Professor De Vera is doing her thing. Violet's thinking about the fact that today's the day that Brennan was killed and how he could have been anywhere else in the future. She could have been an aunt. He could have been a major, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's kind of feeling it. So her handling for all this emotion is to say to Xaden in the middle of class, in his mind,
yeah,
take me to bed.
And then he says, it might be awkward in front of all these people.
I love that
He's
response
so funny.
so much.
And then she says, might be worth it.
That would be something to see. So yeah, they're having this conversation, and in the background, Devera is having a conversation. So we're going to skip Devera because we really only care about Xaden and Violet. I might mention a few things, but...
They're just talking about, like, what would you... I mean, his battle brief.
What would you do if this happened?
Yeah. Yes.
So he says to her, Xaden, through the mind, I haven't changed my mind, violence. There's no future for us. She says, don't remind me.
I think he says that because she says graduation is 10 days away.
Graduation 10 days away, she says to him.
Yeah.
And he says, don't remind me. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she says, are you seriously going to leave Basgiath without... And doesn't say what, but he says yes. I think she meant, like, without maybe... Well, she says... She's thinking here, like, declaring his undying lust.
Yeah.
But she doesn't say it, so...
Well, but, I mean, it's really just without admitting that he does want, like, more out of the relationship, basically. That's what she wants.
Yeah. So he says, whatever you're thinking can wait until there's not a room full of people between us. Because she's thinking about just him, basically.
Yeah.
And then she thinks here how it's been a month and a half since they destroyed her room. And that they've managed to keep their hands off each other, even though the sparring is very tension-filled. She starts thinking, like, what's he doing about all this sexual tension? And then she's, like, freaking out, like, wait a second, does he have someone else that he's, handling it with?
Yeah, and, okay, so here's the thing. She asks him directly, right? Like, this is a direct question. Are you going to say about
what he says later?
Yes.
Yes. I totally... It's later.
Question.
I was going to bring that up later, but that's fine. We can bring it up now.
Yeah, it's just like, is there someone else? And then he says that he's not having this discussion right now.
He could have just said
no.
Which
is fine.
No. It's not fine. He could have said no.
That would have been
less. If you say we're not having this discussion here, I would think there's someone else.
So there is a discussion to be had.
Absolutely. But, and then later he says to her, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah. I'm like,
She asked.
What did you think she did? She asked directly. A direct question.
Very direct.
Directly.
2 direct questions. First, is there someone else? And second, oh my God, is it Imogen?
Yeah. And yeah, he could have just said no. Saying no is really easy, actually.
Xaden.
You could just say no.
Communication.
But...
Yeah, I know. When I read that this time again, I was like, what are you talking about?
What did you think she did? Like, what? I was so confused. And then also she's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Whatever.
I think he was also trying to concentrate on Battle Brief and was just trying to tell her to stop talking to him, maybe.
Yeah, but no would have made the conversation shorter.
Yeah, it could have been. No, I would never do that. Shut up. Listen, yeah. So then she decides it must be Imogen, and she's like, oh my gosh. And he says, for fuck's sake, violence. And then she's like, is it? I know we said we weren't going there again, but at least tell me. And then he just spits out the word Sorrengail.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was able to catch himself because everyone's like, huh?
No, I don't think he caught himself.
No, he was able to catch himself here with an answer of why he said Sorrengail.
No, I think he said that answering Devar's question, knowing that was answering Devar's question, but also knowing that it would get her. Yeah. I really think that he's just so cunning all the time. He's always like this when everything he says has like double meanings and it's all... I think because he's trying to get her to pay attention, I think he is paying attention enough because he knows why this makes sense.
Why it would make sense. I know. Except for he snaps Sorrengail.
Yes.
And then he clears his throat to say, I would ask for Mira Sorrengail to temporary transfer for the wards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be giving him more credit than I think he has, but that's okay. It's not important, really, but that sounds like an idea.
Yeah. I think that when he says Sorrengail, he's saying it to her, but he already figured out how he could do that.
Yeah.
Without it being weird.
Yeah.
So that's why he's snapping it.
So he's snapping it. She's getting the point that he's like irritated with her, but he doesn't answer her goddamn question.
No.
And then she says, then still talking to Devera, not to him now, something about like you can just send the 3rd years because, might as well send them early at this point so they can be of some use.
Yeah.
And then he says in her mind, point fucking made.
Yeah.
Because she's basically giving him a fuck you at that point.
Yeah, very much so.
And then it says I slam my shield down and block him out. What shield is she talking about? Has she ever talked about a shield?
Well, there's like, remember a while ago when she was like bugging him when he was getting the orders for the war games, And then she was like, oh, at least he didn't put his shields down. So they can, like, they always have them open because they're in love with each other.
I guess that's what she was teaching. He was teaching her to block Tairn.
Yes, so it would be that same thing. So there, at any point, either of them could just, like,
I just thought they had never mentioned shields, and this is the first time the word shield is used, and I was like, a little confused if it ever got brought up earlier. So
no, it did, because it said that Xaden didn't put his shields down earlier. So yeah.
Okay.
So this is like the first time that we know that either of them shielded against each other. So she's definitely angry.
Yeah, she is. Anyway, so they end the battle brief, and Liam is like, anything I need to know about what's going on between you and... But she says, absolutely nothing is going on between us. Not one damn thing. And then she turns to Rhiannon and says, are you excited to finally be able to write to your sister in 10 days?
Yeah, but also, couldn't she go see her? Isn't that after the 10 days, after graduation, they have like a short 3 days they can go see you? But maybe she just means like from now on.
She can write her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And then she says that she's been writing to her every month.
Yeah.
But now she can finally send the letters, so that's kind of cute.
Yeah, and I wonder who... If it's just Mira, or if there's anyone else that Violet would send letters to, because she's thinking about it too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's no one else we know about yet, but I wonder if someone else will come up, if we'll find out about other childhood friends or family members, like an aunt or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So that ends that scene. We're still in the first chapter of this. Wowzers. Okay, so now she's all dressed up and ready to go. They all have like certain uniforms that are like dress uniforms for this night. So she's wearing one that's like a skirt with a slit on it, where like Rhiannon is wearing one that's, I think, pants, right?
Yeah.
But they've got sashes with their names on it, on the sashes, and yeah. So she sees Rhiannon. Rhiannon looks all beautiful, and she says she's hot. Violet says Rhiannon's hot, which is great. So there's a bunch of them here. Nadine is like talking about the infantry guys being there, and Riddick's like, don't you prefer a little brain with your brawn? Which is just rude to the infantry people. Please.
Yeah, but whatever.
And then Liam's chasing after her, of course, like, what? Don't leave without me. She was hoping he would have the night off. And then he starts talking about cadets having things for writers. They're all just very excited about the fact that they're going to... I think they even talk about it here, right? Like, it's getting incestuous. This writers, they've all basically screwed the same people at this point. They're just like, can we please get some new people? Yeah, so they're just like excited. They're talking about how scribes usually see like other scribes, but sometimes writers. And anyways,
yeah,
they're just excited about it. And then Violet is like, it's hard to believe we've survived. And then she mentions or thinks to herself that only one name was even on death roll that whole week. Just one name.
That's pretty good.
A third year who didn't come back from an overnight mission.
Yeah. And, maybe she got some other information from Xaden about, like, it's just, the fact that it's like, okay, a third year went on an overnight mission and didn't come back, and yet Dane was surprised to know that the third years get sent out.
I think that's honestly a little bit of a writer's mistake.
I agree. That's what I'm saying, because it seems like everybody knows. And I think it was just, like, this writing thing that she wanted to put in to be like, remember how Dane sucks? Because he was being super annoying.
Maybe there's a chance that somebody in third year died and she asked Xaden, like while they were sparring, how did Joe Blow go?
Yeah.
And he said it was a mission. I mean, that's possible because he could tell her, but it does seem really weird that as a second year,
because even Violet said in battle brief, oh, send the third years.
I the fact that Dane didn't know by second year is either a diss from Rebecca on how dumb he is, but he made it to squad leader.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a slight writer's mistake.
Yeah. Because it really seems like everyone knows this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
But it's okay. Okay, so they're going to the courtyard. It's all like fancied up for this. I don't know if it's a ball. What is this? It's just a party. I don't know.
It's the celebration.
It's just a celebration. Whatever's happening. There's a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
She tries to figure out where Xaden is. Like, she's like, asks him in her mind, but he's not answering.
Yeah.
Liam stays by her. He's worried that someone's just going to, like, knife her in the middle of reunification day celebration. She's just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But whatever. She does mention that she sees her mom, and then her mom whispers something and disappears. She thinks that was just rude, but actually her mom's coming down to see her.
Yeah.
So,
which is not any nicer.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what's happening there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. She starts realizing, like, here's this guy with this rebellion relic walking into a celebration where they're all celebrating, what his parents' downfall. And he's not, and this is the day his parents die. She's like apologizes to him. Yeah. And then thinks that he should just go, But he's like, nope.
It is on the same day. I'm just saying it's really seeming like it's the same day.
It does seem that way. I don't know.
But I'm like...
He says, I doubt you enjoy celebrating the anniversary of your brother's death either.
Yeah. It really seems like it was all one day.
It does seem that way.
Yeah. I just was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she even mentions that Brennan would hate all this, like, not the celebrating of this instead of just getting shit done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also thinks that she's gonna rip Xaden's gorgeous head off for forcing Liam through this. But then we find out that Xaden did not ask him, and he wanted to be there.
This is my thing. And also, she saved his life, and I think he, to a degree, feels like...
It's the least he can do.
The least he can do, yeah.
I know, but he does...
What?
He just does such a, he's just so amazing through this, and it's just so awful.
What, that he has to be there during this?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah.
He's there, but it's just, he does such a good job, not freaking out.
He's not a selfish person in any way. There's, no selfish bone in his body.
I know, and they're being so awful to him here in a minute, and he's just
Yeah. She tries to get Liam to go when she notices that her mom is walking towards her with King Tari. I like how she mentions here that
Melgren. Sorry.
Oh, and Melgren. Yeah, yep. I love how she mentions here King Tari has this purple sash pinned to his chest by 12 medals he's never won from 100 battlefields he's never stepped foot on. How does anyone respect that? No, that's not Melgren's the one who predicts. This is King Tari she's talking about. No, Melgren's fought all the wars.
Oh,
he is a celebrated
I didn't think
fighter.
about that.
No, King Tari.
What?
King Tari is being described here, and it's saying that his purple sash is pinned to his chest by 12 medals he never won from 100 battlefields he's never stepped foot on. So her mom's medals are all earned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says, then General Melgren joins them. So it's after she's already noted the king. But listen, if you were any citizen knowing that your king is wearing a bunch of medals that he's never even... I mean, she knows this.
Well, I'm just so confused. Is what she's trying to say that he's just making shit up and pinning them on himself? Or is she saying that he himself never did any of the fighting and yet
has all the medals? Yeah, these are probably real battlefields and whatever, but he's wearing the medals of all these battlefields, but he's never done anything. So he's never earned any.
Okay.
You don't get a medal for sitting on a throne and saying, sure, we'll fight that war, guys. Let me know how it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it says that battles he's never won, but the country won them, but he never.
It says he's never stepped foot on.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't even that he's never won them. If he was in some fantasy books, the king will maybe have a tent in the war space where he's doing working with the generals and interested in the outcome, but he hasn't even stepped foot on these battlefields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is ridiculous. I was just misunderstanding it. Yeah. And now.
No, General Melgren definitely is. He's experienced.
Yeah, what I was thinking was that this was Melgren, and I got confused, and that he was predicting the outcomes of battles and then pinning the medals to himself.
Oh my God, that would be impressive. He just figures it all out and says, well, we're just not going to go there. The battle doesn't even happen, and then he pins the medal for himself because he won the battle.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I had
So I was like, this is really funny.
That would have been funny.
But instead, this is just
I wish Rebecca thought about that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so anyways, Liam does not leave her here. So they have to have this conversation with the king, who sounds very slimy. And he's saying, I heard you bonded 2 dragons and you have a great signet. And she's she knows to be humble because that's what you do when you're faced by people who might be worried at all about you having power.
Yeah. And she's but I don't know, I'm bad at it.
So I'm not so good at it. I'm not that great.
I only get 1 power. I definitely don't get 2.
Yeah. And, her mom says she's being modest. But then he notices Liam and realizes that he's Colonel Mari's son. So Liam says something kind of good here. He's keeping in his, PR, right? He's I was brought up by Duke Lindell at Turvain. And then King Tari's yes, Duke Lindell is a good man, a loyal man. And then Liam's like, I have him to thank for my fortitude, Majesty.
Uh-huh.
Which could mean anything.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. Like, what are we saying there? Are we saying your fortitude because he beat you every day? Or,
right.
yeah, like, or was he, you know, like, it's so, like, doesn't it say anything?
Exactly.
Anyways.
But I mean, it says Liam plays the game well. Yeah, saying nothing.
Saying nothing.
Sounding nice and respectful.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there you go.
Then he asks where the Ryerson boy is. The Ryerson boy, this 24-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I always like to lay eyes on him once a year, make sure he's not causing trouble.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Great. Good to
Violet,
know.
you know, instantly comes to his defense.
Yeah, which...
Maybe smart, maybe not, maybe slightly, I don't know. But she's not going to just...
No, I think it's good that she did it, but it definitely gives her mom, like, glares at her.
Yeah, exactly. She's thinking here, again, we're going through this, like, Xaden's always been there for me. He's done all this stuff for me. He would... whatever. But then she's like, why am I even defending him? He wouldn't give a fuck what these people think of him.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so her mom also mentions that she's basically trying to give a reason why Violet had jumped in and said that. So she says that the dragons are mated. And then the king is sort of like, excellent, a Sorengale to keep an eye on him, right?
Which, cool. I'm glad that's what he's thinking.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he trusts
like,
Violet enough. Yeah.
Which is, honestly, that is what they should be thinking.
He makes this, like, sarcastic, sort of, is it funny or not funny comment of, like, you'll let us know if he decides to, I don't know, start another war.
Yeah, this is where I'm like this, all of this just made me feel like so, awful. They're awful.
He also asks where Xaden is, and she says, oh, he was somewhere around here, you know.
Yeah, because the king says that he asked all the Mark ones to be here, but none of them are there but Liam. No. None of them.
No, but maybe by seeing Liam, knowing one is there, and then her saying, oh, he's somewhere off, you know, doesn't really like to hang around people or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that satisfied him, you know.
I don't know.
Who knows? But her mom conveniently notices Dane Atos and drags the king over there, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, he'd be so humbled if you said hello.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is where we find out that Liam decided to come himself because she says, I'm going to kill him for making you come to this. And he's like, oh, no, he didn't make me come to this. You know, He's like, I'm here for you. And she's like, you're a good friend, Liam Murray.
They're so cute.
Oh, so sweet.
And then now Dane comes by.
Yeah, this is nice. He's being a nice person here. He says she looks beautiful. She says thank you.
He touches her too much, though.
He does definitely cup her cheek here.
He needs to 100%. Stop that.
When you're cupping someone's cheek, are your fingers near the temples?
Yeah, right?
No, listen. Well, I'm going to cup my cheek.
The answer is yes.
I know. And he cups her cheeks a lot. I'm just saying.
I know. I think about that, but also, like, it really depends on how you do it, because you could be, like, where your thumb's on the cheekbones and your fingers are by their ear. This is a visual
bit that no one can see at all. But yeah, you could, I guess, put your hand in such a way where your fingers are going towards the back of the bottom of your ear as opposed to up towards your temples.
Yeah, but it does seem like it's pointed out a lot that he does this. But I'm like, when her and Xaden obviously start, like, officially dating, how is he gonna feel about just Dane touching her all the time? Oh, I would not be into that.
Let's find out.
Yeah, right. I mean, he doesn't seem happy.
Well, he's not here right now.
But I know, but he's gonna bring up how much he just generally doesn't.
I know he does. Happening. He brings up the kiss and stuff.
Yeah.
Later. Okay, so I do like the fact that Dane is like, okay, you guys get out of here. I'll cover for you. Just go. You know what I mean? Which is really nice. So they head out. They leave, and she goes and kind of like senses where Xaden is through like the, mind connection.
Yeah, because he mentioned earlier
that he can sense where she is.
Yes, because he asked like, why are you so far away? And then she was like, how do you know? And then
he's like, I'll always find you.
Yeah. But he says with more practice, you'd be able to tell. So I guess she's had more practice now.
Yeah, she can't it's not like she gets a GPS map and it says pinpoints right here. She just knows.
Practically. It's like,
well, she just feels go in this direction, basically. Yes. So she's getting like a blind direction without an end pinned. Yeah. So I love how she's like, Liam, I adore you, right? And he's like, well, that's nice. And she's like, go away. Like, what? I can't just leave you out here by yourself. No offense, but I can fry this entire place with a lightning bolt if I want to, and I need to see Xaden, so go. And then he's like, well, your aim is shit, according to you, but okay, I get the rest. And then he leaves because, he's like, I know what you want to do. I don't need to see this.
Yeah. And also because Xaden would keep her safe, so it's fine.
Yeah. So I like this part. She finds Garrick and Bodhi outside the parapet and realizes Xaden's there. They're like, he needs to be by himself. And she's just like, well, oh, I like this. She's like, yeah, well, I'm his. And then doesn't finish. And then she thinks about it and she's like, what am I? You know, she doesn't know. She just knows that she needs to be by his side and she can't deny how much she wants to be with him, basically. So she just says, I'm just his.
Oh my God. That is so cute. But also, this seems like a terrible idea. Like, it turns out great, and that's great.
You mean walking on the parapet with...
Nope.
No?
Going to see Xaden right now. If I were her, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe he just needs some space today. I feel like she would be on the list of people he does not want to see right now. And she's like, well, I'm gonna go find him. And they're like, oh,
I don't
maybe
think
you shouldn't.
he connects that to her anymore. I think she's gotten her own
clearly,
place in his mind.
Clearly, that's fine. But I was just thinking this is a terrible idea.
She's being a little pushy.
Gonna be, yes.
It's a little bit more about her needs than his.
Yes!
Okay, I get it.
That's exactly, I'm like, okay, just, we don't care about his feelings right now, apparently.
I mean, she decided in Battle Brief that same day that she wanted him to take her to bed today, so she's sticking with it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm
We're
getting
doing
my
this.
way.
Somewhere, somehow. Okay, good. So that finishes that chapter. She steps on the parapet, and that finishes that chapter.
Yeah.
So now on chapter 32, we have this beginning here part that says, as for the 107 innocents, the children of the executed officers, so they're calling them innocents, which is
yeah, I'm like, doesn't seem like you
they don't think that way generally. Yeah.
But okay.
They now carry what shall be known as the rebellion relic, transferred by the dragon who carried out the king's justice. Have they told you yet what dragon that is?
The king's dragon. Or Melgren's dragon?
The king is not a writer. Oh. The king is not a writer.
I don't know why I thought that he would be.
No.
I think they said it was Melgren's.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if they told you.
I don't know. That was back when it was so
long
ago. It was the first time I heard Melgren's name, and
yeah.
So I couldn't really remember, but.
And it says, to show the mercy of our great king, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, it doesn't say that. They will all be conscripted into the prestigious Writers' Quadrant at Basgiath, so they may prove their loyalty to our kingdom with their service or with their death. And this is from the Treaty of Aricia.
They make it sound so nice.
It's so nice.
The prestigious Writers. But then at the end, they can serve the kingdom with their service or with their death.
Yeah,
and that's
nice.
The truth.
And if they die in their service, then they are obviously proven themselves great, loyal heroes.
Or if they get killed by the dragons, and they were probably betrayers anyway.
Right, so who cares?
Oh.
Okay, so here she is walking the parapet in a dress. Lady. She does take her shoes off.
Well, technically, it's a skirt.
Okay, fine. A long skirt.
Yes, a very
fluttering
long skirt.
around her as she's walking through the parapet. You know what I mean?
This is pretty badass, though. She's, like, so good at it.
I know. She's gotten really good.
Yes.
And it's nice to see that she has the confidence to think, like, oh, I can walk to him and I'm not going to die, you know?
Yep. But, oh my god, this line is so cute. But who takes responsibility, takes care of him? Because she's thinking about, like he takes, responsibility for all those kids. And I'm like, oh, it's just so
She's
cute.
feeling for him. She sees him sitting out there and just, she knows he's feeling not just the pain of his father, but also just, I mean, can you imagine the uprooting that does to anyone's life as a child to go from having a family to being put in with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People.
And he must have only been in that foster house for, I suppose, 3 years before he went off to Basgiath.
Yeah.
It's also, like, almost, like, better and worse to have it at the older age.
Yes.
Because it's, like...
For sure.
Because now it's like, oh, these people who think they can tell me what to do when I'm an adult, basically. Which must be hard. But also, at least he had his childhood with his parents.
I know.
Unlike the younger kids who don't even get that.
On that. I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she is feeling for him here.
Yeah. And then she is thinking about how he said that you don't really know me, not at my core. And then she's thinking, like, everything I've learned about him just makes me, like him more. And I'm like, that's what I was thinking when he said that. It's like, well, it seems like the more we get to know you, the better of a person you are. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, she's definitely saying, she says, I'm tumbling harder and faster. So she has fallen for him. There's no question about it. Like, she's tumbling.
No. Yep.
But it's even less of a question here where she basically says, she basically realizes suddenly she's in love with Xaden.
Yeah. Yep, the ache in my chest burns brighter than the power coursing through my veins. I'm in love with Xaden. Yeah. And I was like, yes, you are.
You sure
Yes,
are.
you are.
Anyways, she thinks about the fact that he's been adamant that she can't fall for him and that she's been keeping out of his bed. But what's the point of holding back? And at that line, and we're all saying, yes, Violet,
yes,
what is the point?
What is the point?
And she's like, should I grab a hold of every moment we can have while he's still here? Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes. So she's like, there's like this section where the parapet is within those walls. So before you, like, the wind starts to whip at you. So she's just now gotten past that section. She's now fully exposed to the winds and stuff. And she's thinking, crap. It's kind of like, it's like walking on Taran's spine, except for she's in a dress and Taran isn't there to catch her. And then she thinks he's going to be so pissed when he hears that I did this. And then he says in her mind, and this is interesting because this happens simultaneously. He says, already am, meaning I'm already mad at you.
Yeah.
And then Xaden's head snaps in her direction saying violent. So it makes you think that Taran told Sgaeyl at that moment, like, what the fuck?
And then Sgaeyl told Xaden, and Xaden turned and was like, oh my god.
He must have been really lost in thought, because I swear he would have suspected the minute she stepped on the parapet.
Probably felt a prickling scalp and scented her. I don't think
she's making his scalp.
I don't think it's the shadows. I mean that was like a joking guess, but I just think they're really, really weird around each other.
I'll have to read his POVs again that you can't read until the end of this book.
But there's already been times when he's been like, I can feel you staring at me, and like says that to her.
Yeah, that's
true.
So,
it seems like
yeah,
they just have really intense gazes.
I know. Xaden jumps up and is like, turn around right now, and she's like, come with me. But he just strides to her as if like he's walking on the ground.
I know.
What the fuck are you doing here? And he grabs her waist. And she's like, what am I doing here,
Yeah, but then this line is so great, because she says, like, she's thinking, I'm risking everything to reach him, and if he rejects me, no, there's no room for fear on the parapet.
Yeah, she's like, that's it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, you gotta just jump all in.
Yeah. She's accusing him here of, like, he could have fall or whatever. You're here, too. You could fall and die, and then I could... Whatever. They're having this back-and-forth conversation about that. But he points out the fact that he's got shadows. Like, her lightning is not going to stop her from falling. What's she going to do? As she falls, the lightning's going to,
Yeah, but
take down the
Xaden will
parapet.
Stop her from falling. I don't see the point.
But he's saying that if he were to fall... That's true. It's a good point. But he's saying if he were to fall, the shadows would catch him, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that means... I mean, we know they can be solid because he can kill people with them.
But hello. If you can catch yourself when you fall with shadows, why is he not flying by himself? Because he has a dragon?
Because I think...
Too much work?
People would be scared. That's why I think he can't
just walk on a wall of shadows.
Too much crazy stuff.
30 feet up in the air.
People would be too scared of him, and he's not trying to, like, he's trying to keep his profile not too high. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want all this attention on him.
Yeah.
But I think he could. I think he really definitely could do that.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she does get the point, though, there, although... Brianna maybe had a better point that he would have just caught her with his shadows. But anyways.
She was like, Xaden!
And then he's just like, whoop, with a big shadow hand, just whoops down, picks her up.
Yeah.
Come on.
This seems fine.
Here he says again, you're seriously going to be the death of me.
Yeah.
And then he tells her to go back. Because he wants to be alone, as you pointed out before. But she says, only if you do, I want to be wherever you are. And she says, I know why you said you don't see a future for us. And he's like, do you? And she says, I like this how she just she's basically decided to tell him how he feels. She says, you want me. And no, I'm not just talking about in bed. You want me, Xaden Rarison. You may not say it, but you do one better and show it. And then she goes through all, she's basically saying all the things that he's done for her that we've been telling her about this whole book.
Yeah.
God. And then she's like, you show it in a million different ways. Please don't deny it. And he doesn't. And then she's like, you think we don't have a future because you're scared that I won't like who you really are behind all those walls you keep. And I'm scared too, I can admit it. You're graduating and I'm not. You'll be gone in a matter of weeks, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But she says, I told you that I was the one who would decide when I'm ready to risk my heart, and I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you don't mean that. And she's like, I mean it. And then he's like, if this is about the Imogen thing, oh, that's right. This is where we get to learn what you've been complaining about for a while. So anyways, not yet. So she's like, no, it's not that. I know there's no one else. And then he's like, well, what made you think that? Why did you think that there was Imogen or someone else and stuff? And she's just like, I had insecurities, but also the way she was looking. She does say here, the way she looked at you and Garrick sparring.
Yep.
she could have just said you sparring, but they had to do that for this whole like setup here, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, she definitely has a thing for you, all this stuff. And he's like, you're jealous. And she's like, yes. I mean, she's strong and fierce and has that same ruthless streak you do. I've always thought she was better for you. But he's like, you're strong and fierce and have a ruthless streak too. Oh, he says, I know the feeling well.
Which I think is both, I mean, it's jealousy, but also maybe the feeling of like, I think this person's a better match for you.
Yeah,
with
not being
Dane.
enough for someone or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
And he also loves how he says, you're the smartest person I've ever met. That mind of yours is sexy as hell. And then she says, he's like, Imogen and I are just friends. Trust me. She was not looking at me. And then he says, God's help me. I'm only looking at you.
Yeah.
Which is so cute. And she says, what? She wasn't looking at you? And he's like, no, rethink of what you just said and take me out of there. And that's when she was like, oh my gosh, she has a thing for Garrick.
Yeah.
So this whole time you've been talking about Imogen, I feel the same thing because they want I mean, she wants you to think that, so I can't say anything, but.
And I want, like, so I'm wondering back when she's spying on the meeting that's happening under the tree, because this is the first time we have Imogen, like, looking at Xaden. Garrick must have been standing right next to him then, too. Which is, I mean, Garrick's, like, always standing right next to him most of the time.
So every time she's looking at him with longing, it's going just past him an inch to Garrick standing behind him.
Only someone who likes Xaden would then think it must be Xaden.
Yes.
Because
Violet. Violet wasn't noticing Garrick. Garrick is mentioned here very rarely ever part of anything. As he's almost like just there with Xaden, you know?
Yeah, well, he is like the deputy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they're always together. Mm-hmm. And also, like...
He's not around Violet all the time. She only sees him when she sees Xaden. It's never just, like, Garrick walking up and saying, hey, let's talk about this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that happened, like, once, right before they went out for the presentation.
Oh, that's true.
But that's fine.
That's true. Okay, this is kind of cute because she says, are you done pushing me away? And he's like, are you done putting yourself in harm's way to get your point across? And she's like, probably not. And then his response, though, is, there's only you, Violence. Is that what you need to hear? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, so we've talked about this already. He's like, even when I'm not with you, there's only you. Next time, just ask. So we already went on that. We don't have to go on that anymore. Like,
because we already talked about how that's dumb.
Because she did ask.
It's
not dumb to say that. It's dumb that he didn't realize that she already did.
Yeah. And then whatever.
And then he's like, if we're going to do this, you have to trust each other. Well, okay, fine. That makes sense. But still, there's so much you could say about that line.
Yeah. You trust seemingly no one, Xaden.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's fine. It's fine. You know what? He's coming around. You can't be mad. He's coming around. But a little silly.
She refers back to that question where he had said something about the jealousy and knowing the feeling well. She's like, what do you mean you know the feeling of jealousy well? And
I know. And and she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, isn't Dane constantly touching you? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, and if she wants to, like, argue that, saying, well, I don't think of him that way, that's not true.
Because you did.
The first half of the book.
For the first half of the book.
Yeah.
So.
But that's okay. He clarifies, saying, I saw Atos kiss you after threshing and nearly lost my shit. By the way, there is a POV chapter of him seeing that happen.
Oh! That makes me so happy.
Yes. And then he says, I've wanted you from the first second I saw you, Violence. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
The first second.
I was like, first of all, like, I called it, but also, that's confusing.
Like, why?
I'm just confused, like, but then you also said you were still planning on ruining her.
Well, he can compartmentalize.
I get it. He could just be, like, he could have just been, like, physically attracted to her and also enjoyed that she shared her boots or whatever.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
But I'm like, okay, like, that's what I thought. Like, this is what I thought this whole time. But then I got confused by what he said before. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he was like, okay, yeah, like, she's great and everything, but, like, revenge on her mom.
Right, yeah. He just kind of had to put the want aside.
Yeah.
While he concentrated on whatever else.
Until he couldn't anymore because she's just so great.
Of course. That's right. So, she's basically trying to convince him it's time to go with her. Like, okay, I'll leave, but you need to come with me. And he says, I'm not in a place to take care of anyone tonight.
I know. And my exact thought was, well, then let her take care of you. And that's basically what she says.
Yeah, that's what she says. So she does talk him into coming with her. And they walk off the parapet. And he's like definitely concerned and like, you know, trying to make sure she won't fall and stuff. It's very cute.
And also saying like, I'm gonna kill them being Garrick and Bodhi, for letting you out here in a dress.
Yeah. He's also like, don't ever put your life at risk over something as trivial as talking to me again. And she's like, next year's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He did say he was gonna not be happy with Garrick and
yeah, but
Bodhi.
They left because, you know,
they
probably
like,
knew that.
I guess they didn't have to keep an eye on, like, you know, like basically protect his back anymore because she was out there. I don't know. Or they were just literally like, oh, they're getting up. We're out of here.
Yeah. It was either like they might fuck on the parapet and I don't want to be here for that.
Wow.
He could make it better out of his shadows.
I was just going to say that. Why not?
Or they're like, oh, he's going to kill us. We should probably just go.
So she's like, you're taking me to your room. And he's like, don't do that. You know, people, whatever. You know, you're a first year. I'm a wing leader. He's worried about her reputation. And she's just like,
I think everyone knows.
Everyone knows. Which actually is not true.
No, it's not.
But
and
that's
I think
fine.
if leadership knew, they wouldn't be pleased. But, you know, whatever.
They go into his beautiful room.
Yeah.
And it sounds really nice. She describes it, and it's like a lot of space.
Yeah, and also immaculately clean. And I was like, we'll see how long that lasts.
I was just going to say, there's all this furniture that they could break.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that's going to last very long.
This is great. She notices, like, the godzillions amount of knives and... I almost said knives and forks. Knives and swords. Is that right?
Yeah.
And she's like, how many challenges have you won? And he's like, the better question is, how many have I lost?
I know.
And
so cocky.
I remember reading that and being like, wow, so cocky. And then she's like, there's the ego I know and love so much. And I'm like, right.
Yep.
Right.
But it's a good question. Has he lost very many at all? Any? Some? 5? 0?
I'm sure he arrived on as a first year already knowing really, like, he probably practiced. He probably made sure he was in the best of shape.
Yeah.
And knew how to fight.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure he started out in good shape.
And yeah, he might have already been in good shape before that. I don't know. What they were up to
whatever it
before.
is, I'm just saying that I know he would have started first year
very impressively
already at the top of the class. I mean, Liam starts practically at the top of the class, and they were together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it said that Xaden trained
him, yeah. So they were, yeah. She's like, now I take care of you, and then she like kneels down in front of him, and he's like, Violet. My sensibility.
He clutches his pearls.
He's like, oh my goodness. And then she's like, I'm just taking off your boots.
Yeah. But she's also fucking with him. Like she totally
was.
With him.
She was smirking at him.
Yeah. This interaction right here is so weird. I'm like, what is hiding in your wardrobe? Like, what literal skeletons do you have in your closet?
Because she goes to the armoire, and he's basically is like, just leave him right there. He's either impatient to get her back over to him.
Well, that's what I thought at first, but then again, like, he seems to be like so weird about her going near the armoire. I'm like, what do you have in there? Like, why are you being weird?
Woman, obviously, after all this.
But I don't know. It's like it's a secret passage to Tyrandor. Like, what do you have?
Oh, that's a good one.
What do you have in your closet? He's being so weird.
These are good questions.
Yeah, it's definitely something because this was such. I was like, it was so like off tone too. It was like, we're just gonna slide this in here. You're gonna be thinking about sex too much to notice.
Oh yeah,
but not me because I'm going line by line.
We are definitely distracted by what's happening next. Is she just taking off his boots to put him to bed? Like, does she actually think she's doing that here, though?
No.
Okay, because
absolutely not.
She's like, she starts like taking his shirt off and his leathers off or whatever, and she's like, apologizing for the day and just the fact that it's so sucky and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that she wouldn't be mad or like
if
be upset if he was just like, I just want to go to bed.
Let's just curl up and sleep here.
Yeah,
I'm sure she would have been.
But
fine.
I'm sure she's like,
she's hoping something's gonna happen. I mean, she already told him in the middle of class to take her to bed. So
yeah, exactly.
You do find out here that he got a cut from Sigale at threshing, and that it's like a common thing that dragons scar their riders at threshing, but Tiernan and Darna didn't.
I know.
But he does mention she was already cut. Like, she was already scarred from threshing, just not by them. So I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it was like... It's weird that dragons do that, but super cute.
Cute?
That they didn't?
Wow. Oh, cute that they didn't. I'm like, it's cute that they...
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so cute that they mark their riders.
No, I don't think that's cute. I think it's cute that Tiernan and Darna didn't do that. It would have been so weird if they did. But also, like, I was always waiting for this, like, crazy story about this scar on his face, and that's the whole story.
And how did she do it? So Sigale is humongous. So she takes her tiny little
Like, hold
pinky
still.
talon and she just like nicks his eyebrow.
I don't know. Do you think he's lying?
Otherwise he would no. I don't, because there's comments,
Yeah.
you know, about
I don't
other
think he's
people
lying
getting
either.
scarred.
It's just weird. I was like also waiting. I was like, this crazy face scar that he has. There's gonna be some badass story. There's no badass story.
That's funny.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, he does bring... So then we get to hear a little about what he's thinking during threshing, about how he really wanted to kill those guys that were attacking her. And he's like... He basically said, like, you know, he would have done it. Like,
Yep.
any second he would have done it, but Taryn landed. So we know he would have done it. There's no way.
You think
and
that
he could have
Sigale
just
was
killed
calling...
those two. Who's going to tell on him?
Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, Dane
Right?
seemed concerned, like, well, everyone's watching. They know if I interfered or whatever. But it doesn't seem like they're, like... I thought they were in, like, a
No one was
tiny
watching.
bowl, basically. But, like,
Yeah.
they're in a giant field.
No one... She was so far out there, there was no one watching but
Yes.
him and Sigale.
Anyways, but I wonder if Sigale, not only being a fan of Indarna, but also not wanting Xaden to get himself in trouble, I wonder if that was also, like, part of the reason why she was like, Taryn,
Come save
Taryn,
Xaden
come!
from getting in trouble. Yeah.
Oh my god, he's about to do something dumb!
But she says, come on, let's get you to bed.
Yeah.
It'll be tomorrow when you wake up.
Yeah, which is so cute.
So again, I was still thinking, is she, maybe she's just giving him an out. She's like, listen, I'm not gonna,
yeah.
you know,
I'm not
I got
gonna
this
jump
itch
your
to
bones
scratch,
right
but
now. I'll do it
I'll
in the
just
morning.
do it. Yeah.
It'll be tomorrow, and then it'll be okay.
So he says, I don't deserve you, but I'm gonna keep you all the same.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
And then she says, good, because I think I'm in love with you, which is just like, what?
I know. I was like, okay,
Wow,
just
we went
say
fast
that,
from
I
I'm
guess.
falling for you, let's do this, to I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wrong about their first saying I love you to be, like, in a fight, because that's what I thought. But to be fair, he doesn't say it back, so I could still be right.
Huh. Yeah.
But, yeah, anyways, this is
This
at
is
least
where
where
she
she
says
says
it,
it.
yeah.
But it is very cute, even if it's a little sudden.
Yeah. She goes on to say, I'm so wildly in love with you, I can't imagine my life what it would even look like without you in it.
Yeah.
But he just kisses her.
Yep.
And then,
And then
yeah.
he gives her an out.
He does. And this is Xaden losing control. He says, I fucking need you, Violet, right now, and I don't need anyone. So I'm not quite sure how to handle this feeling, but I'm giving it my best. And if you don't want this tonight, that's fine, but I'm going to need you to walk out that door right now, because if you don't, I'm going to have you naked on your back in the next 2 minutes. I love this so much, because she basically is like, I think 2 minutes is overestimating your skill with my corset.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So he basically, rips her corset off.
As this, like, started, I was like, oh my gosh, how crazy or terrible would it be if, like, the king or the mom or Melgren
Walks
or
in.
anyone, because, like, they were looking for Xaden, you
They
know what I
knock on the
mean?
door.
And, like, I was kind of distracted, thinking, like, oh my god, they're gonna come. And then when someone knocked on the door, I was like, shut the fuck up.
That's
No,
funny.
it wasn't. But I was
funny.
just like, I don't know, I just got, like, worried that I was like, oh, they're gonna find them in a real compromising position here. There's gonna be no denying what's going on. But no, it doesn't happen, so it's
No,
good.
but you know what's good is that they actually went to the bed first.
Yeah. Well, they were, like, on the bed already.
Okay, but he could have picked her up and took her to the wall. I'm just saying.
Knowing
seems
him,
to have
I know.
aversion to beds.
I do think that even if it's not, like, a purposeful move on Xaden's part, that it might be a purposeful move on the author's part to make, like, now that they're more emotionally intimate, having sex on the bed.
Yeah, so maybe
Because-
before, because he was still trying to keep himself separate, and now he's like...
Yeah. And again, not like he was thinking that, but, like, just the themes of writing kind of is doing that on purpose.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
So we get down and dirty here. We don't need to go through it. They have plenty of sex. I believe she mentions
for a
later
while.
that they're working on her 5th orgasm.
Yeah.
But there is again this thing here where power's rushing through her, right?
Uh-huh.
And when she climaxes, the power whips outward, and then
Yeah.
thunder booms and shakes the glass really
Yeah,
fast.
that's
but
fine.
yeah, there's also this like comment here where whatever she's just has the need to explode, and hasn't quite given it to her yet, and she's like, I'm not going to survive this. She's thinking in her head, I'm
Yeah.
not going to survive this. I'm going to die right here in this bed. At least per the way the author writes it, right? This is in her head. But then he says, then I'm going to die with you.
So she must
And
be
she says,
accidentally...
I'm so far gone, I didn't realize I said the words out loud.
Yeah, maybe out loud or maybe...
In her mind, yeah.
Because then she says, then I remember I don't have to.
And then she starts talking to him in their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, like, I'm gonna die with you. I'm like, okay, like, I get that they're being, like, this is, like, kind of, like, whatever, like, them being cute, I guess, but also, like, well, like, he would literally die with you.
you just think he's stating an obvious here. It's not romantic
like, well,
at all. Well,
you know, I would also die.
I'll die. That's hilarious.
No, but I know it's not like what he meant, but I was like, well, you're not wrong. Like,
yeah,
that is true.
And she decides to say I love you again here, which is great because she is wanting to finish here, and he is not quite letting her. And by saying I love you, his control snaps, and that helps her. And
now
this is where we get the shattering of glass.
Yep. So power whips
out. It says
out.
It whips out of her, cracking through the room. So it's not coming from outside. It's coming through the room, shattering the glass.
No, it says shattering like glass. As he throws his weight to the side.
No, that's what she's thinking, because she doesn't realize.
Yes, because she doesn't realize until later.
So she thinks, I didn't even notice that. I thought it was shattering the glass. Interesting.
No, it says she shattering like glass, her power and then he throws his weight to the side, but she doesn't realize why, but later she realizes he was shielding her from the glass. And then,
yeah, and then she notices this breeze kissing her thighs, and she's just like, oh, wow.
She notices it a few times. And
before she's like, what?
A breeze? Yeah, so, but when it said like glass, or like shattering like glass, I was like, oh, but did you actually shatter the window? Because I thought maybe, and then I was like keeping track of the breeze coming through, and I was like, I don't know, man, it seems like they shattered the window. And then when she notices that, I was like, I knew it, I called it.
And it's so much the point, like the shattering was done so intensely that the glass is sand. Was that her or was that him?
No, I think
together, like throwing out his shadows at the same time. Because now
maybe it was like, well, okay, because sand becomes glass, so she like unmade.
She unmade
the glass.
She unmade the glass, and they have
the
sand in their bed.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Or it just shattered. No, that's the only possible explanation.
It literally says it's sand. It doesn't say pieces small enough to be sand. It's literally
I mean, this is definitely not how like real life works, but in theory she could have like heated up the glass so much and then he cooled it so quickly that it did the opposite process of making glass. Again, I know that there's no way that's possible in real life, but maybe this is like kind of what they're getting at happening, kind of.
That's interesting. Oh, I just have to say that earlier he says, I fucking love your hair. If you ever want to bring me to my knees or win an argument, just let it down. I'll get the point. Just that's something
that might come
to
back.
keep in mind here.
Yeah. That's
anyway, so yeah, she's like, oh shit, we broke your window, and he's just sort of like, it's okay, and she's like, what are we gonna do about that? It's not,
it's not like an armoire. Like you have to make glass. Maybe they could make glass together.
And then he's just like, whatever. Now we should go for 3 or maybe 4 if you're still awake. And she's like, after I just shattered your window, and he's like, basically like, I've got this covered if you decide to take out the dresser next.
Yeah,
he's just like so nonchalant about it.
She does say like, I need to get this under control. Like, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so then it says, okay, they're middle of going for 5, which is, just have to say, like, is it possible? Do romance books write these things for us thinking that it's actually, is it physically possible for someone to go 5? Should we not have this conversation because I'm your mother?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Okay, so they're going for 5. And they're here. They're doing stuff, She mentions that his relic is very beautiful, and he says, I used to think of it as a curse, but now I realize it's a gift. And she is asking a gift, like, what do you mean?
And we don't.
And then we get a knock on the door.
I know. I was so annoyed about that. I hope we go back to this. I'm sure we will. Obviously, knowing this writing style, but I was like, come on, why? Always interrupting.
Yeah, I do think that we find out something about that. But yeah, someone pounds on the door, and Xaden's like, go the fuck away.
Yeah, and for a second I thought I was right. Like I said, I was like, no, it's her mom.
Is the mom.
Her mom's at his bedroom door.
Funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, but then it's...
No, he says, go the fuck away, and Garrick's like, I really wish I could. And he's like, someone better be dead if I get out of this bed, Garrick. And then he's like, I think there's a lot of people dead, which is why they're calling the full quadrant formation, jackass.
I know. I was like,
holy shit.
What? That's all I could think.
Oh my gosh.
All I could think was, what?
I know. They obviously disengage at that point because what are you going to say? Like, just it only will take 5 more minutes. Just give us 5 more minutes. We're so close. Anyway, anyways, man, so Garrick, this chapter ends with Garrick saying, "Grab your flight leathers, and you'd better bring Sorrengail with you too. We're under attack." So obviously Garrick knows where Sorrengail was.
Yeah, I mean, there's
obviously
there's not much stretching you have to do to realize what's like happening, because they were on the parapet and now anyways.
And now Zane's yelling at him.
But I was like, are they under attack because the king is there? Like, is that the reason that they're under attack? I don't know, because I haven't read past this. But right now, my thought is they're under attack because the king is there. Mm-hmm. And so that's the place to attack, because that's where the king is. And it's probably way less guarded. Wow, is it? It's like full of riders. Maybe still possibly less guarded than his castle. I don't know. Maybe there's like more magic around his castle or whatever. And they couldn't attack there. I don't know.
Huh.
I mean, all I have is this line and nothing else.
I know. You don't get to find out until the next chapter.
Yeah.
Woo-woo. So good. We finished those 2 chapters. So that ends the chapter part, but we do happen to have a review on Apple Podcasts.
We get to read you another review, and a good reminder to leave us a review if you haven't, if you're not the 2 people that have. And we'll read them. We will read them. We will
read them. So this review is from a user named Andarna's Butler, which is so cute.
Very good name.
Yeah. It says, "This podcast absolutely sates my need for more Fourth Wing content, especially since none of my other friends have started the series." Which... tell your friends to hurry up.
Yeah.
Tell them they won't regret it. Love the thoughtful and engaging commentary from Kendra and Brianna. I feel like they're my own bookish friends. Just finished Iron Flame, so it's great to have this podcast to go back and listen to details I might have missed. Thanks so much for the pod, ladies. Yay, that's so nice. Thank you.
And Darna's Butler.
Yeah. we do, we have had this idea of having a Discord page for like more discussion and some non-spoiler discussions that Brianna can be a part of, and spoiler discussions I can be a part of. So if that's of interest, if anybody wants to let us know, that's something we could do.
Yeah.
That might be more interesting than commenting on our posts that I don't keep up very well on social media. Yeah, that's all for now. So we're going to be doing chapters 33 and 34 next week.
Yep. Join us next time, writers.
All right. Bye.
Bye.